This is perhaps as close to a motivational video as you are ever going to find on this channel. Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will appear, of course, in the poetry discussion playlist here on the channel. The poem in question today comes to us from Elizabeth Bishop. It is known as One Art, and it reads as such. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day, except the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places and names and where it was you meant to travel. None of these things will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch, and look, my last or next to last of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vaster. Some realms I owned, 2 rivers, a continent. I miss them, but it wasn't a disaster. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love, I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster. There are in this poem 2 things that I really want to concentrate on and work through. Number 1 is the title. So we have here a poem about losing. Losing things, losing people, losing experiences, losing in general. And our poem is titled One Art. Seems, at the outset, something of a weird title for a poem about loss. Until you decide to try to come up with some type of definition for art. What is art? I have my definition. My definition is as such. Art is that which the audience interprets. If something is written for a purpose, then it is propaganda. If something is drawn or painted or sung, whatever the medium may be, if it is created for an express purpose to communicate one thing and its outcome, that's propaganda. Art is open to interpretation by the consumer. Consumer has such a nasty connotation. I don't think it needs to. We consume art. This is one of the special things about art is you can reconsume art. It is unlike other products in that way. But art, meaning that something is left open to interpretation, we have then here an idea of a poem that is one art, that art being the art of loss. The art of losing is not hard to master. The art of losing, art being open to interpretation. The loss itself is open to interpretation. That, I think, is important for the second part of this discussion. The second part of this discussion is to say losing, just like anything, is a practice. Losing is a practice. Winning is a practice. Producing is a practice. what happens to us is we become comfortable with something. We become numb to something. We decide we are a writer. We're going to write 500 words every day. We're going to write a poem every day. We're going to do this thing every day. Soon enough, that becomes easy. We're going to do this thing because it is definitional to us. And you grow into that thing. Losing is very much the same way. Now, there is the matter of interpretation to be had with it, but losing is very much that same way. I am not the only one, I'm sure, who has fallen into the traps of loss in life, and so I am not meaning to make myself into a sympathetic figure here. I'm not doing that at all, but there have been large swaths of my life where I was comfortable losing on a daily basis. I want to be a writer. I consider myself a writer. I do not write. I believe that literature is important to the perpetuation of the world. I do not read. And it is important, I think, once again, to note that it is your definition. It's your definition. There are some people who are fine with their life being their 9-to-5 job. If that's it, that's it. If that's what someone wants, that's what they want. If that's what they want to, if that is in what, if it is that in which they wish to participate, it is that in which they wish to participate. It's never been that way for me. I've always thought that there are things that I want to do outside of making a living. Even though I have always thought that, I have been too comfortable at times in my life not doing that. Not existing outside of the 9-to-5. And here's the thing. For me, those are the interesting things in life to participate in are extracurricular to the 9-to-5. Not saying that's better or worse, it's just what it is for me. For people who they get up and they say, well, the 9-to-5 is the 9-to-5, that's how life is supposed to be. There is also a definition of losing. What is it? It's not participating in that 9-to-5. There are also people, by the way, who are comfortable not having the 9-to-5 and just creating. So for me, personally, I lose a little bit everywhere. I lose a little bit at my 9-to-5 because I'm not quite as sharp as one would hope to be. I lose a little bit as a creative because I'm not quite as dedicated and into it with those extra 40 hours that I could have into it, right? But what happens is wherever that line is for us, for me, I have to create. That is definitionally a part of me. Some people, where their line is the 9-to-5 and reading. Outside of that, that is the line for me. That is where I have to be. But, man, if that's you, the 9-to-5 and you want to read, Monday sure was hard. Monday just kicked my butt. Put me on my rear end, and I had to sit down at home with a bush light and a lip full of dip and just get through the afternoon. That's where I was on Monday, and I didn't get any reading done. Well, guess what's real easy to do on Tuesday? Man, that Levi Garrett sure does feel good in your lip. Put a little Bud Light past that. Put a little Coors past that. Maybe maybe some whiskey. And man, shot of nicotine through the old lip there. A little too much whiskey. It's hard to read Tuesday too. And then Wednesday's a recovery day because we've been doing the 9 to 5 all week. These things become practices, become habits, become habitual. Losing, whatever your definition of it is, once you break the seal on that, it's very easy to continue down that road. It's very easy to just keep going. And that's PC language. That's politically correct language. It's very easy to what? It's very easy to keep losing. And I do not say this to celebrate, right? I've been here way too often in my own life to believe that it is something to make fun of. And if I want to be a writer, what do I have to do? I have to write. I don't have to publish. I don't have to put books on the New York Times bestsellers list. I have to write. If I want to be a basketball player, what do I have to do? I have to dribble. I have to shoot the ball. I have to play basketball. I don't have to be in the NBA. I don't have to be in the D League. I have to play basketball. And if I play basketball, I am definitionally a basketball player. If I lose, whatever that definition is for me, if I lose, what am I? That's all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, there's literature on the channel all the time. There's poetry every Monday. We're currently going through Ernest Hemingway's short stories. We just finished up Dubliners by James Joyce, and we are going through Carrie by Stephen King as well. So, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to stick around, because I hope to have you back for the next one.